YOLO amazing people of YouTube. So I want to talk to you guys about this new trend going on of women and men as well. They're opting out of having kids, right? In modern day America, man, like people are thinking, you know what, it's better off if I don't have kids. And I'm a person that when things occur on a large scale, I don't think it happens by accident. I believe that there are major think tanks, whether from within the nation or out of the nation, they cause these changes in one way, shape, or form, you know? And for people to consider like, hey, you know, I'm gonna be the end of my lineage. That's a hell of a fucking decision to make, right? But people are actually making this decision that, you know what, I think the world would be better off if I don't have kids, or my kid would be better off if they're not born, which is idiotic, right? And there's a lot of reasons why they're coming to this conclusion, whether it's brainwashing through online and all this stuff, or whether it's, you know, they're hearing things about, you know, child sex trafficking, the confusing kids in schools and all kinds of stuff, right? But the weird thing at the same time is we're actually living in the safest time ever in history. Like right now, it's safer than it was in the 2000s. It's safer than it was in the 90s. It's safer than it was in the 80s. It just keeps getting safer, right? Medicine gets better. Everything is getting better. And I like this analogy, man, where this modern man, he goes back in time and he's speaking to, you know, someone from, let's say, the 1800s. And the 1800 person is like, yeah, you know, we catch our food, you know, we eat it like that same day. We pick our berries fresh and all this, and right. And they all die at like 50, 60. 50, 60 is like grandpa, grandma for them, you know? But us, with all the poison around us, we're still starting to live longer and longer and longer. And for people to make this decision of, it started off with them going, you know, I'm not going to have kids in my 20s or my early 20s. I'm not going to have kids in my late 20s. Oh, you know what? It's best to have kids in your 30s. Oh, 40 is not too late. Oh, you know, mid 40s, maybe even 50s. And then it becomes, no, I don't want to have kids at all, right? It's guys and girls. Like in my personal, like I don't have kids, right? And I wish I had kids. Like if I could go back in time, I would want to have a kid when I was like 17, 18. When I was actually 17, 18, I did want to have a kid. I just didn't have someone that I wanted to have a kid with. Because I'm also one of those people, like, you don't just have kids. Like, no, I needed to have the right person. And if I had the right person, I most definitely would have had a kid or two at that age with a specific person of which I would be with. You get what I'm saying? I had someone in my 20s and things didn't work out at the end, and it's sad. I should have had kids then at the least. Now I'm in my mid 30s and I feel like, fuck, man, time's ticking, man. Like, I'm at that point where, like, fuck, if you have good genetics and you're a decent human being, I just might impregnate your ass. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, we'd have to have the discussion about it, but like, that's good enough. At this point, I'm in my mid 30s, man. I gotta have one, dude. I'm not gonna be the end of my lineage, you know, but there's so many people that are like, man, fuck this, with all the craziness going on in the world. I don't know, man. The only people scare you out of basic human shit, right? It's like regular human shit. It's regular human animal things to reproduce. It's normal. I'm not telling you to go have like 20 kids, right? But don't you find it weird that in the United States, the most financially prosperous country in the world, people are deciding not to have kids, man? You know, I find it really weird. I don't know what it is, but somehow people are getting brainwashed in one way, shape, or form. They're allowing themselves to get brainwashed. I also acknowledge that the quality of people has gone down in terms of their morality, in terms of having a backbone and a spine, and standing up for themselves, and all these types of, you know, I think in some areas it's improved, but in other areas it's really diminished, which is sad. And I think it's that course is gonna continue for a while until the pendulum swings back. You know, like our grandparents, they lived all their entire lives together. Like splitting up wasn't even an option. They didn't even fucking. If they had a problem, they fixed it. That's what it was. That simple. You got a problem? Let's talk about it. Fix it. Or shut the fuck up about it. And we just pretend it never happened. Our generation is like, fuck, you stepped on my shoe, and that one time, and then it's fucking World War III, and you're divorced, even though you just got married. But anyways, man, don't let people fucking brainwash you. Solo YOLO Bolo, peace.